So everyone, we are going to discuss today JDBC. So do you have any idea of JDBC? Anyone? If no, also you can say no. That's fine. Please respond, guys. Like you are
Yes,
not
ma'am.
saying. You have idea or not?
Yes, ma'am. I have idea
Okay.
on
So
GDBC.
I hope everyone seated with your laptops only, right? Anyone joined with your mobiles? So I'm hoping everyone joined with
Yes.
laptop only. So for this, you should first download MySQL from official website. So here you will go to see this community downloads. Here you will be having for Windows. So you can download it from here. I have it, so that's why I'm not downloading. So
Are
after
you
download,
sharing any screen?
one second. Someone speaking, their voice is breaking. Now is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so for this, you should go to mysql.com and downloads. Then here you will be having MySQL community downloads, and if you go here, you can see installer for Windows. So if you have any other, you can choose accordingly. This is for Windows, and you can download it according to your requirement. And after downloading, you need to install and set it up. So after that, we'll be getting MySQL Workbench like this. So you can see here I have tagged it into my bar. So this is the MySQL Workbench. So this is used to do few of the operations and check if the operations are successfully done from the Java program or not, like that. So we'll be having the one of the like connection. I have only one, that is localhost 3306 port. So that is here. So if we have so many, we can add here. We can use this plus and we can add so many connections and use them. So for now I have this one. And one more thing you need to do is you should download MySQL jar. So it will be coming like a zip file like this. Here, this one, MySQL connector jar file. So you should extract it, then it will become like this folder. Got it? Are you doing now? Or you have it? Please respond. Like I cannot understand without any response.
Yes, ma'am, I'm doing.
Yeah. So let me know. I'm giving you 2 to 3 minutes of time. After completing, please let me know.
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
In previous class, what you have taught?
Actually, it was taken by another person. I think exception handling is completed. And I
Oh,
have uploaded the videos on YouTube also. If you have missed, you can check it out there.
okay. Ma'am, up to Code Java is completed, right?
Yes, today only we are moving to JDBC. This is the first class.
Okay, okay.
So please be active and we'll be doing practically. So Coming to JDBC, it is not like core Java. So there are so many issues will be coming. So please respond accordingly. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. If I don't know also, I will ask other seniors and let you know. Okay. So while setting up SQL, you should give the password. So remember it for future uses. So we can also use MySQL command line prompt. Here you can see on my screen. It will open like this. First of all, we should give the password, and then the connection will be opening like this. So I have already added so many databases, so I can see databases like this. So if I don't have, I can create one now and I can use the database. So for today's project, I am creating, will create or will use MyDB, JDBC, right? We are working with. So, so I'm naming it as JDBC. We can see one query affected. So if I see the databases now, we can see JDBC is here. So now I have created a database for our project today. Got this? Understood this thing?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. In Workbench also. Actually, it will be asking whenever you click it. It used to ask the password, but I have saved it. That's why it is not asking me. So if it is asking, please provide your password and open. So this is the workbench looks like. So normal queries we can run similar to here also we can run in the command line. Here also we can run. Both are same. You can use anything according to your wish. So here we can see in the schemas. This is our database which I have created now. Coming to tables, we don't have anything now. So we can see I'm clicking, but it is not coming. So because we don't have any table, so after performing like doing our project, we'll see we are able to create the table or not from Java. Okay. So can I go to the explanation? Then we'll come to the project.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So today we are discussing JDBC. JDBC means Java Database Connectivity. So actually JDBC is a API. API means which is a for example I'm telling. So if we have any app like UPI apps are there now. So PhonePe, GPay, all those things are there. So UPI will be working with different concepts like linked with the banks and updates the customer amount details like debited, credited, everything will be handled using UPI, and there is a connection between UPI apps and banks. That's how it is working. So whenever we are also using some other apps like shopping apps or food delivery apps, that time also we can pay using PhonePe, GPay. So how it is working like there will be a API and the API will be provided to all others. So if Amazon wanted to create an API with PhonePe, it used the PhonePe API and it will integrate its operations with PhonePe. That's how it will be working. So uh, did you understand little bit about API? What is it?
No, ma'am.
So
Can you repeat again?
Okay, 1 second. If we have UPay apps, you know now, phone pay, GPay. So those are a different concept. They will be working like how the programmer, like creator of them, are written them like that only they will be working. But whenever coming to shopping apps like Amazon, Meesho, or anything, Zomato, Swiggy also, we are able to use phone pay and pay the amount, and we are able to use the GPay and pay the amount. So how these two are linking with each other, that is the main thing. So the linking will be done using APIs. So whenever an application is created, the programmer will be creating an API for it. So that API will be provided to all users easily. The API won't disclose any private information about application, but it will be useful for when other applications wanted to use it. So it will be used to communication with between two applications. So for example, I can show one thing. One of the UPI. Where is it? Yeah. 1 second. I just wanted to show you the code docs. This is the code. So this is the code which we can use when we wanted to integrate with this platform Razorpay. So this will be provided to everyone openly like this. So what we will do, we will just take this code, and here these things you can see your key ID, your key script. In these places we will be using our IDs so that we can use this Razorpay in our apps also. Now you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, like that API will be working. So JDBC also, it's a API to work with database. So the code structures will be explained in the coming 5 minutes. So this is the database. So where we can store this red color, there we can store all the data in the form of tables. And this is the Java application here. So Java JDBC API we are using. So that is mainly done using JDBC drivers. So uh, driver will be the, I will show the link, like a link to the database. Using that only we are able to access it. So in the workbench, let me close it to show the driver link. So it is opening. Meantime, okay. Here you can see if I right click and I can copy the, you can see copy JDBC connection string to clipboard. So if I copy it and I paste it here somewhere, so we'll see what we are getting. See, this is the link to the my connection. So this is called as driver. Now we can say this is a driver here I have, and using that only I am connecting to my database tables. This is the database and its tables. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is driver. And why to use JDBC? So we have so many advantages, and before that we can discuss this. Before JDBC, there is ODBC API, was the database API to connect and execute the query with the database. But ODBC API uses ODBC driver, which is written in C language. So actually, we are working with Java. ODBC means like it is Open Database Connectivity, which is mostly used before JDBC. So the disadvantage with ODBC is it is mainly written in C language. According to our belief that Java is more secure than other languages and platform independent also. Coming to C, it is not like that. So whenever we are using ODBC, it is not that easy for Java developers to work with ODBC. That's why JDBC came into existence and everyone shifted to JDBC. So JDBC is mainly written in completely written in Java, and it is at the same time more secure and platform independent also. So when we are using JDBC, we should do three steps. Like we should connect to the database first and execute whatever queries we wanted, and we can retrieve the results to the console only. Like it is not we are working with MySQL workbench. We are creating tables, storing, retrieving. It's not like that. We will be working with Java program only, but we are able to insert the data and fetch the data to the console only. Console means the output space here is called as console. So we will be able to fetch the data to the console only. And here you can see what is API also. API is application programming interface, is a document that contains a description of all the features of a product or software. It represents classes and interfaces that software programs can follow to communicate with each other. So software programs means different applications. So they can communicate with each other using API only. An API can be created for applications, libraries, operating systems also. Like two operation systems can communicate, two libraries can communicate, two applications. Like I said, Amazon and PhonePe, GPay, like that. So API is playing key role in these situations to make a communication between different software programs. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
coming to driver. So the connection will be done using this driver only. Driver is nothing but linked to the database. So we have four types of drivers first. So JDBC, ODBC bridge driver, native API driver, network protocol driver, thin driver. So coming here, JDBC, ODBC is not suitable. And we can also see deep description instead of explaining. So here JDBC ODBC bridge driver uses ODBC driver to connect to the database. As I said, ODBC is written in C language, so which is not support like encouraged in Java. So that's why we are not using it. And native API driver is it is not completely written in Java. That's why we are not using it. And network protocol driver, thin driver, both are there. And coming to network protocol driver, uses middleware that converts JDBC calls directly or indirectly into the vendor-specific database protocol. It is fully written in Java. It means like network protocols using middleware so that whenever we are doing any of the query execution, anything, it will be converted to the vendor-specific means there will be like MySQL is there, Oracle is there, so different type of database are there. So it used to convert the calls into vendor specific database protocol. So it is automatically converts and it is also fully written in Java. So it is also one of the useful, so we can use it. And thin driver is converts calls directly into the vendor specific database. So here the difference is here we are using middlewares for the conversion, but coming to thin driver, it is directly converts the calls. So that's why we are going with this thin driver for today, and it is also fully written in Java. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the main that is like theory. It is not that important, but as a developer, you should have minimum knowledge of all those things. So after that, the main thing is how we connect to the database. So there are five important steps. One is register the driver class, and then create connection, and then create statement, and then execute queries whatever you want, and close connection. Closing connection is also one of the important steps, so don't forget to close the connection every time. So we'll be looking after each of the steps. After that we'll be moving to example. So register the driver class. For registering driver class, we have a method that is for name. So using this method only, we are able to register the driver class. So it is used to dynamically load the driver at the runtime. So the syntax for this is class start for name. It is a syntax, so that's why we should remember it. So this is for Oracle driver, and this is for MySQL driver. So now we are using MySQL, that's why we'll be working with MySQL example only while working with project. So this is how we create class start for name and then the link to the driver. So this is same whenever we are working with MySQL, every time we should use same link. So one second, where it is. So this is the driver link for MySQL. We should remember it, like we'll be having on Google also, but as a developer, if you remember, it is easy for you. That is com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So in advanced, like developed thing, I think it is like com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. It is latest one, I think. So we'll check while working on project also, which is working. Both are available. We'll see how it look like. And coming to creating connection. So actually we use get connection method when we are creating a connection. Here you can see get connection method will be looking like it is taking arguments like URL, sometimes URL, name and password. So here name and password will be referring the name and password of MySQL workbench here. So you should remember name will be root every time and password will be which you have saved. And here the exception is compulsory as we are working with uh, database MySQL. That's why SQL exception will be there. If anything goes wrong, that will be count here. So throws exception is must every time we are working with get connection. If we are not using throws SQL exception, we can also try that try and catch also we can keep. You know now exception handling is completed. So if we use throws, it is at beginning of the method declaration only. If we are not using any throws, we can use try and catch inside method. Is it right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it is compulsory and don't forget to give the exception. And how connection will be looking like this. So connection is the interface we have in Java, and con is the variable to store the object value, and driver manager also interface will be looking into more when we are working in Eclipse. That time we'll be having the definitions also, that is easy. And get connection is the method, and here we'll give the URL which I just showed here, this URL. And then this is that URL, and then we'll be giving the username and then password. So this is for Oracle first one, and this is for MySQL. I have given both, but now we are going with MySQL only. So just for reference. And creating statement means uh, what can I say? We will write a query like that and we'll execute it. So here we can see create statement method of connection interface is used to create statement. The object of statement is responsible to execute the queries with the database. So this statement object is created using this function, and after that this object is used to execute the queries. You can see here we have given object stmt, and here we are using that same object to execute the query. So here execute query is one of the method which takes the query as the parameter, and the result will be if it is integer value we can directly store int r like that, but whenever we are working with SQL queries it will be like giving the rows and columns. It's a table format. That's why we cannot store the table format in a value. That's how we have a interface result set in Java. So result set will be having all the values which have come from this query. So we can see here select star from employee is like it will be giving all the values from employee. It all cannot be stored in one variable now. So that's why we have result set here. So we can store all them into result set, and we have object to result set also. Using this object we can traverse the all the values inside it and we can print them like this. Here we have used a loop to traverse the values. So that's how result set is working. So after that closing connection, that is very easy. The variable which we have used for opening connection, that is con dot close, will be closing the connection. So is it fine for everyone till now? If it is okay, I will be going with example. Please respond, anyone.
It is okay.
Ma'am, can you show a demo?
Yeah, that's where we are going now. So let me open my Eclipse. So first thing, please listen carefully, everyone. So I'm just creating a Java project, that is JDBC. I'm naming it. So here we have JDBC. Don't confuse because here are so many projects. So I have highlighted it. So the first thing what we need to do is we should add the jar file. So now you can see we don't have any jar file inside JDBC. We have JRE system library and source. One is module info.java. That's it. So how we'll be adding jar file is we should right click on the project and we should go to build path. And here we'll be having add external archives. If you click here, I have the jar in my downloads. You can also see here. Here in my downloads, I have the jar file, zip file also, extracted file also. So
Ma'am, jar
I'm
name?
MySQL connection connector.
Ma'am, how it will be downloaded?
Yeah, in the beginning I have shown from any browser you can just type MySQL jar download and you can download any one, which will be downloaded in the form of zip only like this. So after that you need to extract here. If you want anywhere you can there also, but I just did extract here, that's why it is coming in downloads only here. So this is here. So from Eclipse what we'll do, as I have used, I'm directly going to jar. But if you are going to any desktop, you can go to the path where you have stored your jar and select it. Got it? So I have in my
Yeah.
downloads, that's why I'm in my downloads. If you are not storing in downloads, if you are storing in somewhere, like if you have created a Java file in that you are storing, you should go path like this. We can go now in systems, select like that. You can go and you can select your jar.
Okay, ma'am.
Normally, jar will be looking like. See, in my downloads, I have the folder like this. If I open it, we can see the jar here. We have the symbol also, coffee cup symbol. We can see executable jar file. So that's what I'm selecting here. And after selecting, we can see the jar. 1 second. We can see one more file came here, that is reference libraries. So if I open it, we can see the jar file is added here. And this is mandatory. Without this, the connection won't be happen. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. After that, what we'll be doing is like I will create a packet. So first we'll directly create the connection. We'll see we are able to create the connection or not. After that, we'll be working with tables. So I just created a main package. In that also I'm creating a class. First JDBC. So for example thing na, that's why what I will be doing, like you should know everything. That's why this is sample one. After that we'll be working with table. So first I will take a one variable, that is URL. So which is used to what can I say, create which is used to access the database table. So what I will do is like we have to have JDBC. Uh, JDBC database. So we have the URL also. Here we have the URL. I said now how to copy this URL.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So just take it and keep it here in the string. And from here we need only till this path only, like 3306 port number. And after that we'll be giving the database name. So we have created JDBC now here for today's. So that's what I'm giving there. Here this is common URL till this port number, and then we should give the database with which we wanted to work. Okay, and then we'll be giving our username. So these are variables. You can give uname, username, everything your wish. And my username is root, and then we should give the password. So I'm giving it. So I have given three things which are required for our connection. So now what I will do is, if we are throwing the exception here, that's fine. I'm not throwing exception, that's why I'm using try catch block. So catch will be, what is the exception? Can anyone say? It is SQL exception. So we should import it. Is it clear? No one is responding when I was asking what is the
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
exception.
ma'am. Clear.
Yeah. So what I will print here, connection failed. Then I should create connection. So I said, how will create connection? Here, this one. This is the procedure to make a connection using get connection. So this is the thing I can directly copy, or for your understanding I will be typing here. So we should use connection interface and a variable to reference it, and then driver manager, which is also an interface we have, and then get connection method. So first I need to import all this. And here we'll be passing three things, that is URL, username, and then password. And I can say, so I can keep it here. Okay, without it will try. We'll try one. So as I'm using try black, I am directly giving this connection beside try. So what will happen if you are getting any error with this connection, the error will be caught here in the catch. So if there is no error, that time the try will be executed. Inside try, what I'm giving, I'm just giving connection successful.
Ma'am, error or exception? Exception, no?
It's exception, yeah. One more brace missed. Okay, fine. So now we'll see. It's exception only, SQL exception. By mistakenly, if I gave any error like the statement, just please avoid it. its exception for whole JDBC. So I'm just saving it. So let me explain this simply. Just we have created three variables. So instead of creating variables, we can pass all this directly here. But for clear readability and understanding, I just created three variables. That is URL, username, password. And I'm passing all these three into get connection, and that get connection will be storing in the con. And if it is successful, it will be printing connection successful, and if it is failed, it will be printing connection failed. So let me run this, we'll see what we'll be getting. Can you see connection successful? So now we are successfully connected to the database. So now we can work with database. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. So we'll do one simple project. Before that, I need to explain few things to you, and then we'll be moving forward. Okay? So nothing much, just working of SQL. So MySQL thing, previously I have explained only, but in a simpler way. So to connect Java application with MySQL database, we need to follow five things. One is driver class, and one is connection URL we just did. And here we can see JDBC, MySQL, localhost, port number, and MyDB. Here, where JDBC is the API and MySQL is the database, like main database which we are using, and localhost is the server name on which MySQL is running. And we can also use this port name, and we can also change the ports also according to our requirements. That's your wish. And MyDB is my local database which we wanted to use. Here in the example it is MyDB, but for us it is JDBC. And after that, username I just gave root default thing only for me also, that one. And password I have given my password. And that's the thing. Statement interface I said it is the object provides methods to execute queries with the database. So statement interface will be statement is the interface, and we are creating object to statement interface, and using this object we are calling this method. So default, like automatically it is giving us methods to run our queries, execute query, like whatever the query we wanted to run, we can run using this method. So that method is provided by statement interface only, and that is the working of statement interface. And we can also see common used statement interface methods are, one is execute query and one is execute update. So execute query is used when we wanted to execute select query, and it results the result set. So table of rows and columns it will result. So update query will be used when we wanted to create, drop, insert, update, and delete. These operations will be done using execute update method. So these are the two methods we are using from statement interface. And one more thing, execute, that is used to execute queries that may return multiple results. So one more thing we have execute, simple execute method. And one more thing, execute batch. Execute batch means we can run multiple commands at a time using this method. So in coming classes, I will be giving example for each thing. And result interface maintains the cursor pointing to a row of table. So how can I say is, like, result set will be having all the values which are written from the query, and it always points to the first value. And then when we are traversing through it, it will be moving forward and giving all the values. So we can see all the table values using, like, by traversing result set only. These all the concepts are clear for now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes,
now
ma'am.
now what we'll be doing is, so I think in JDBC we cannot create table from the program. That will be achieved in Hibernate and Spring Boot only. So that is also we are going to discuss in future classes. So for now, what we'll be doing is we should create a table first. So first what I will do is I'm just using command line prompt. If anyone wants to this also, that is also fine. But for now, I'm using it only. It will be very good to have it. Like we'll be writing whole query our own. That's why it is useful. So what I will do is I will just use the database first. So use database means if I create a table, that table should be created inside the JDBC database only. That's why first we should write use JDBC, and here we can see database change. So now whatever the table I am creating, that will be created inside the JDBC. That's why I have used to use JDBC. So now I will create a table. Let's take students, and we'll be having columns like ID, it's an integer, and primary key also, which is unique and not null, and we'll be having name, that is varchar, and just giving 50 characters. So for now I'm taking only two columns. We can see 0 rows affected but query okay, which means table is created. So will this work? So see, show tables is giving students, which is created inside JDBC. Here also we can see we have JDBC tables, students is here. So now we are done with creating table. So we'll see how we'll insert the values and all this. So for that I'm creating new class. So I will be naming it as students. So because we are working with students table now, that's why. So students is our class now. Yeah, please observe from here. So it is same thing till here. We can just copy paste these things, same values for me always. So I just took three variables, and I'm going for try black. So before thing we just check the connection, like we are able to connect to the database or not. So now we are working with tables now, that's why we should first register the driver. So in the theory part I said registering driver also one thing, but in previous thing we didn't did any driver thing. So it is for connection successful or not, that thing only. But now we'll register driver as we are working with table. So how will register the driver? I said we have class dot for name, and it is taking string. So that string will be driver link. So we can give directly in the string. Otherwise, for your understanding, you can also give like class name colon and then value. That is com dot mysql dot. It is for mysql. That's why I'm giving it jdbc dot driver. It is not taking. Okay, let us remove it. So this is registering a driver. So we can also see it is successful or not, like this. We can simply
Ma'am,
yeah,
within try block, you have written a code called class dot for name. Can you tell me the purpose of this line?
yeah. As I said, for creating and working with tables, we should register driver first. So with which database we are working. So here we can see register the driver class. So for name method of the class. So class is the class with capital letter and is used to register the driver class. This method is used to dynamically load the driver class. So driver means for here it is Oracle, for here it is MySQL. So when we are working with the project, how it will know which is which. So for that first we should register the driver class. So for that purpose only this line. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if it is successful, we can say driver loaded successfully. And then if it is not, we can catch the exception. So here the exception will be like it is like a driver registering driver using the class now. So we can also read about this. So the error will be here, it is not SQL error. It will be like class not found exception. So when we are working with connection to the table and database, it will be like SQL exception. But here we are trying to load the driver of MySQL. So if it is not available, it will be showing class not found exception. So yeah, I can say we can also have custom statement, or else we can also have system default like e dot get message. It will be coming according to the error we are getting. So till now loading drivers is completed. So after that what we'll be doing, now we should go for connection. Let me give comments. Register driver, and then we'll be going for connection. So connection also we should give in try, because it will be throwing SQL exception. So how it will be done? Connection, we are using variable con driver manager dot get connection method we have, and we are using this with 3 parameters. Sorry, should import connection. That's it. So this error because we haven't added any catch. So the catch will be SQL exception here. So did you got the difference? Why here SQL exception? Why here class not found exception?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I will simply write here connection failed. So till now the connection part is completed. So if I am successfully creating connection also, I can just give connection successful. These statements all are for our understanding only. So we are done with second step. So let us follow this document, that will be easy. We register the driver and we just created the connection object. So now what is the step? Create statement object. So how will create? We have statement interface. So use it, and I'm using the object st statement, right? So let us import it. And then con dot create statement. So this is always same, you should remember it. It is like a syntax only in Java. So now with this we have successfully what can I say, created statement object. So after that what is the step? So execute the query. So what we'll do, first we'll go for select as it is easy. So for select we don't have any values inside the table. We can also see select start from students. So we don't have any values. So for now I will just insert 2 values here. Insert into students with ID and name. Values 101, let us take 100, and name will be, we can see one row effect. So if I run select star, we can see 100 Monica is there. So for now we have one value inside the table. So we'll see how we'll get it. So after creating statement object, we should execute the query. So executing query will be done using statement object and execute query method. So as I said, we are selecting, we should use execute query. If we are inserting or updating, we should use execute update. So for now it is execute query only. And as it is select, it will be giving multiple values. Now we have only one value, but it also have two columns. One is ID and one is name. So we cannot store in one variable. That's why we will use result set. So that will do here. First, what we'll say, we'll just give result set, and we should give object to it, and that is R I have given. And what I will do, I should use statement object and use the execute query. So inside this I can simply give select star from students and just close it. So we'll be getting multiple values into this R. So how will be printing it? We should traverse the result set. How will do that? We'll traverse result set using loops. So for now I'm using while loop. That object dot next. If it has next only, it will move to the next row. If don't have any next, it will exit from the loop. So what I will do, in the next I should just assign values. So here you can see, here we have ID and name. So two values are there in R now. So how will, like it is a collection of values, so we should detach them. How I do, I just take int ID equals to, as the ID is integer here, I should take same data type in Eclipse also. Here name is string, so I will be taking same data type for name. So according to the data types in table only we should take. So first we'll complete it. So how will assign value? R dot, R is object to result set, and get int from the result set, that is with named with ID. So here we can see which we have given ID. So same thing I should use here, ID. Okay, the column name which we have given inside SQL, that thing we should use here. And coming to name, I can take from the object and I can use, here it is string now, that's why we should use get string, and the name will be name, column name will be name. So that's how we have detached the both values in the R object and assigned to ID and name. And next what we'll do, we just print them. So how will print? Student ID plus ID. And I'm just giving some space. Student name plus name. So if we have multiple values, the loop will be iterating until the values will be empty. So for now we have only one, that's why the loop will be running for one time. So after loop, what will be doing? We should close connection. One more thing we can do, we can close the statement also. Sorry, statement are closed now. I just reversed them. We can also close result set also. These all things we can do. If you don't also, no worries, but connection closing is mandatory.
Ma'am, why st.close?
Yeah, we have opened all the objects now, so it is best practice to close all this. If not also, no issues, but closing connection is important.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see, we'll get the output here or not. If we are getting any error, we should handle it. See here, this is for this one. Driver loaded successfully, this one. And then this is printing. This is usual for whenever we are working with database in Eclipse. So no need to worry about this red line. And then we can see connection successful. That we did here. And then the values from the database. Sorry, table, student table. That is ID 100 and name Monica. So if you are going to insert one more value, let us take 101. So if I'm entering it, it is successful. So coming to here, if I run this, we should get two values. See, student ID 101, student name. So we are getting right.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So result set and here statement. Now we'll be doing insertion. So for insertion, we should have this object now statement. So how we'll do? We should use this statement object and we should use execute update for insertion. So that's why I'm writing here only before closing the statement. So here I am going to perform insertion. So we'll see how we'll doing this. So first of all, we should pass the query similarly. So what I will do, I just create a query separately. So that will be easy when we are passing the argument. So I'm just taking a string query. So the query will be like same database query. So I'm copying it from here. So insert into student ID name. Values will be I'm taking one or two. So for now I'm just commenting it. So whenever we are executing, always the values will be printed. So that's why I'm commenting it. So now we'll be seeing only insertion how it would look like. And after that, what I will do, I just as I said, when we are selecting, it will be giving multiple values. That's why it will be added to result set. But when we are performing insertion, deletion, or update, it will be giving number of rows and columns which have affected. So we can use int rows affected. Is it clear this line why I'm using rows affected?
No, ma'am.
One second. So when we are working with select star from students, it will be returning multiple values like this. So, see, it is giving 100 Monica, 101 Kushi, two columns and four values. So this cannot be stored in one value. That's why we are using result set. But when we are working with insert like here, what it is returning? Number of rows affected. So number of rows will be integer value now. So that's why we are using int rows affected. So insertion query always results on how many rows affected only. That's why we are storing that value in int. So how will be performing that query? I should use statement object and execute update. And I have written the query. So it is taken here. So after that, how can we check if it is successful or not? If rows affected. So if rows affected is 0, the operation is not successful. If rows affected is greater than 0, it is successful. So if it is greater than 0, like if it is successful, this query is successful, the number of rows affected will be 1. So that time it will be greater than 0. So it is true only. So how can I say it? Insertion successful. So if not, if it is the else case, so how can I say that? Insertion fail. This I am saving for now. So after insertion, if the user is added or not, how can we check? So that I will be copying this and will check again. So just give me a second. In common field, and I will just copy. After insertion, here it's already on. So we cannot use same object multiple times. So I can simply remove this, or I can create different object like R1 also. Both are fine. So why I have added this? Because we should check whether it is inserted or not. So after insertion, I am just selecting all values. If you are getting this inserted value also, that time it will be successful. Okay, just see the output and I will explain again. See, here in between insertion successful is there, and after that the third student also coming. Is it clear?
Yes.
Please respond, anyone. If you have
Yes.
the doubt, you ask me right now. Yeah, so with this, I am closing today's class. What you all need to do is you should perform delete and update. So I will be checking this tomorrow. This is serious. This is not like core Java, simple and easy. So I will be checking it tomorrow. Please
Ma'am,
complete it.
ma'am, fast JDBC.java is for connecting database, right? With
Where,
MySQL.
where,
Yes.
JDBC dot.
Fast JDBC.java, that fast Java file.
Yeah,
Uh,
this I did just for is the connection is getting successful or not. Just simple example for us. So this is just for your understanding only. No
okay,
need to do anything with this, but this is important students.java, and here I just selected values and insertion is completed. So you need to do update and delete. So I will give the like the way how to do. So inside the query, you should simply write delete from table, where condition you should give, where id equals to 100 or 101, and then same into rows affected, and statement update query you should give query, and rows affected similar thing here you should give deletion successful, deletion failed. For update also you just change the query here, update table, table name, set values. You know na SQL query how to update.
yes,
It
ma'am.
will be like, should I tell the query or you know?
Ma'am, I know.
Then you can easily do that. So just replace the query and everything as usual. Here also insertion will be replaced with updation, deletion accordingly. That's it. That is a simple task. This is for your practice only. So just do that. I will be checking tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be discussing prepare statements, which is like here we are giving the query and values also we are giving inside the query. But programmers won't work like that. Your programmers should take the values from user. So that will be done using prepare statements only. That we'll be discussing tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.